This is your Weather Extreme video for Sunday, May the 27th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters coming to you from Cheaha State Park this morning. And there's a look first at Montevallo from our Skycam imagery. And certainly a beautiful morning across central Alabama. And there's a look from Mount Cheaha, highest point in Alabama, and the sun rising beautifully there in the east. Well, to our east is Burl, and Burl is probably going to make landfall in the vicinity of Jacksonville later tonight or early on Monday, Memorial Day, so certainly something for us to be watching. In the meantime, though, we're going to have another pretty warm day as the upper ridge continues to be very strong before it begins to dampen out ahead of that closed low over the northern Rockies. In the meantime, though, of course, across just about the eastern two-thirds of the country, it is pretty warm with temperatures at 5 a.m. basically already in the 70s up into Iowa and Illinois. So very, very warm. And of course, across our area, we're generally around the 70-degree mark with a few spots getting into the 60s. Burl is beginning to show up on radar as we look at the composite over the southeastern U.S. off the southeast coast. And certainly Burl will be responsible for a good deal of rain over the next several days. HPC guys predicting as much as 9 inches just offshore. Most of that rain being confined just east of Alabama, but we'll be watching the progress of that just to make sure that it doesn't get a little further westward. If it does, then we could see a little bit more rain possibility, but we're generally on the dry side. Storm Prediction Center outlooking a moderate risk for parts of Kansas and Nebraska for today, and that moderate risk surrounded by a slight risk that extends all the way from western Lake Superior all the way down to the Texas Panhandle. For Day 2, everything slides a little bit further to the east with a slight risk basically over Lake Michigan and down into central Missouri, with another slight risk down in the Red River Valley extending back into the area of San Angelo. And then for Day 3, that slight risk over the Lake Michigan moves over into pretty much New York and Pennsylvania, with still a slight risk being held back over parts of Oklahoma and north central Texas. Activity in the tropics still quiet except for Burl, and of course hurricane season doesn't officially start till June 1st. There's a look at the satellite image for Burl this morning, and Burl's still making progress slowly to the west. There's a look at the National Hurricane Center forecast, and of course we'll be seeing this on the GFS and the European here in just a moment. All right, the 06E GFS model run, and there's the upper reflection with the ridge today. So we saw Birmingham hit 94 yesterday. Looks like 94 is a possibility today. Clouds will be increasing from the east as Burl comes ashore. And, of course, there's the surface low approaching the Jacksonville area. The GFS brings the upper system over into the vicinity of the Big Bend area of Tallahassee and North Florida. And, of course, the Hurricane Center not going quite that far west in their official forecast. The GFS and the European are in pretty good agreement, so we're pretty confident in the forecast right now. Burl begins to turn back on Tuesday and turn back to the northeast as the big trough out to our west begins to come across and dampen our ridge, which will mean we'll have some clouds, and also that should lower temperatures just a little bit. By Wednesday, Burl is back out in the Atlantic and headed out to sea. And we're under a bit of a troughiness, so we're going to stay somewhat unsettled with just shower chances on Wednesday. The trough begins to come through on Thursday, and so that should increase the chances, especially to our west, and so we'll still see chances on Thursday. Then the trough sharpens up on Friday. This is a little bit slower than what we saw yesterday, so it looks like Friday won't be a clearing day. It looks like Saturday will become the better day, but Friday certainly we should be seeing some rain, and that rain ending probably during the day, or see some showers, I should say, as a surface high fills in behind it. And once again, the European in pretty good agreement with the GFS, a little bit stronger perhaps on the surface low and just a little further north, but good agreement in the relative positions. By Saturday, we're beginning to, we're under gentle northwest flow, I should say, and we're beginning to come more under a ridge, so we should be cleared out, and we should see some lowered humidity, so that should certainly make the day seem pretty nice. And then by Sunday, another good day as the ridge comes over us, the weak ridge comes over us, so no return to heat in a real big hurry. Going out into voodoo country, and certainly the ridge does return, as we saw yesterday. This is the 6th of June, so the ridge does return. And then, kind of an interesting change. The GFS now suggesting that by the 11th, we could see a fairly nice closed low over the western Great Lakes with a bit of troughiness, so some unsettled weather across the eastern half of the country and across the southeastern U.S. Well, that'll do it for this Weather Extreme video. I expect James is still on a Memorial Day weekend, a holiday weekend schedule, so he'll be doing one on Monday. I think that'll probably come in the morning. In the meantime, I hope that your Memorial Day weekend continues to be a good one, and Godspeed.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of Central Alabama.
in back-to-back ratings periods.
More people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.